Hey guys, so I'm in the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, and I just wanted to do a review of my thoughts on it and what I think and how it's been so far. So far it's been fun as hell. This thing is like a little go-kart. I got a bumper humper behind me. Well, at least I can see his bumper. Some people, you can't even see their bumper. You can barely see their headlights. I gotta stop saying all the time. So what are the positives about this? Well, it's cheap. In today's economy, it's still kind of cheap. Damn it, I'm doing it again. $20,000. I honestly think they could have offered a bit more, and I'll get back to that. Handling is very sensitive. Like, it takes corners like it's nobody's business. Acceleration performance is... People say it's slow, and the reason for that is because they don't know how to bring it out of, so there's two different modes. There's normal drive, eco mode, and then there's sport mode. If you have it stuck, or if you're driving in eco mode, because it's a CVT, it takes a bit to grab. The stealth of the CVT takes a bit to grab, so you can't slam the accelerator down, and because it sits there and thinks, like, wait, am I supposed to do this? Oh, right, I'm supposed to start going, which is kind of annoying. That's the downside about CVT. So you kind of have to ease on the accelerator. Now I'm driving in eco mode right now, and I'm doing about 75 kilometers an hour. It seemed to get up there pretty good without any hesitation whatsoever. Braking is pretty damn good too. I do kind of want to replace the discs with vented, so hopefully maybe that'll help a bit. On one tank of gas, I can... potholes. On one tank of gas, I can get about... See what I mean right there? Like, you could just feel it where it's like... Yeah. I don't know, it's kind of annoying with the CVT, I'll be honest. On one tank of gas, I can get about 550 kilometers. It says 540 right now, but that usually changes. And it'll get to about, let's say 500 kilometers. It'll definitely do 500 for sure. No problem whatsoever. The interior build quality is very plasticky. I would say about 20% of the budget probably went on the interior fitting of this car. It is very noisy inside. If I got it for the $16,000 that it's, that you can get in other places, I wouldn't complain. But because it was $20,000, I don't know. I think it could have been, they could have given a little bit more. You can kind of see where things aren't really flush with each other. There's like a bit of a gap, and it's, it just, I honestly thought maybe it was because I was taking corners so quickly that, it was starting to separate because the frame was starting to twist and stuff, but I'm like, there's no way I was taking corners that quickly. So once we get up to the windy bits here, what we'll do is, so we'll turn off traction control, put it into sport mode, and we'll just have some fun with it. If there is a side wind, because this car is so light, you will unfortunately be hit with some side winds, and it does seem to throw it around pretty nicely, which is also kind of an annoyance. And you can always tell which way you're being pushed, like which way the wind is pushing you, because either if it's pushing from the passenger side, then your car is going to be pushing in the incoming lane, and you're going to be constantly trying to counter steer to stop it from doing that. So you're driving down the highway with your steering wheel slightly, turned to stop the car from veering into the other lane. And if the wind is going the other way, well, then you just end up in the ditch if you're not careful. So it's either you choose between getting stuck in a damp ditch, or having them pull you out of the grill of a semi. I don't know. It's a tough pick. Now these aren't the roads that I'm gonna say that is that I really want to kind of throw this thing around right now. I could though, maybe. You know what? I want this. So right now, I'm going to turn off TC, and I'm gonna put it. So if you see the speedo right now, it's about 1,200 RPMs right now, and if I put it into let's get on a straight here. But if I put it into sport mode, everything tightens up. So the CVT tightens up and it puts it in higher RPMs, so it grabs a lot better. And that's where the car kind of really starts to go. But again, you are working with 76 horsepower on a 3-cylinder 1.2 liter motor. It's not a big motor. I think there are motorcycle motors that are bigger than this motor. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, like so. I'm gonna put in sport mode, and I'm actually easing on the accelerator, but if I let go and then so I kind of ease off, kind of let it grab, and then once I feel it grab, then I accelerate again, and it kind of seems to, then it seems to accelerate a lot better. But if you just punch it on a standstill, it doesn't really like that too much. So it kind of sucks in that terms. I could be doing something wrong, but I don't know. But again, so as you can see, I'm about 3,000 RPMs right now. But if I put it back into eco mode, it drops down to about 1,200. And if I put it back into sport, it goes to about 3,000. And everything tightens up. And then it just goes. And I really hope that wasn't a cop. And then back to eco mode. Crap. I don't think that was a cop. Usually if it is, they are marked and whatnot, so they have to have like a drive safe type deal. I think the reason they added those was because people were like, well, I mean, technically you shouldn't be speeding, but I mean, I'll just say I'm a professional car review person, and I was doing a video for the person that is buying this car. Okay, that's a lie. That is a lie. This is my car. Well, it's not my car. Would it be the bank's car right now? Because technically I'm making payments on it. I don't know. Whatever. So, I kind of want to take this out to like the Grand Cache and whatnot, because I could probably go all the way there. No problem. But you know what? We're not going to do that. Okay, so here is where I decide to basically open it up and drive like a bat out of hell. You'll see just how insanely good this thing is at taking corners. It is brilliant. It just has so much grab to it. Here we go. So I was going about 80 through there. Going about 80 through here. Here's where it kind of gets a little bit sketchy. It's like the Laguna Seca, where there you go. And I went about 60 through there. Going 80. there's a lot of bicyclists and stuff, so I don't really want to, hit anybody on a bicycle. So yeah, about 60 lowest through there and about 80 highest. I would say that's pretty good. Honestly, I would say that's pretty damn good, and that's with traction control off, of course. So how fast does this thing go? Well, the fastest I've gotten was 160, and that's pretty much where it tapped out. It was like, okay, we're good. It depends, though, on the road. It depends on the type of day. It depends on which way the wind is going. If the wind is behind you, it's obviously going to give you a little bit of a boost. If the wind is in front of you, it's going to not help so much. If the wind is pushing on the side, it's going to also not help so much. But yeah, 160 is pretty damn good. I mean, people, I don't know, like, when people say it's slow, are they comparing it to cars that are, it's like, oh, my Mustang is way faster than that. It's like, no, like, no duh. Of course your Mustang's faster than this car. That is a stupid comparison. If you said something like, my Toyota Echo or whatever, maybe even a Toyota Prius, I don't know. I think a Toyota Prius may be a little bit more faster than this, a little bit more power. But again, it's heavier and it's a ugly, stinky hybrid. Have fun replacing the batteries when that goes useless. I mean, this question, with a hybrid, because it uses both battery and gas, if the battery goes, can you just use the gas engine? Could you take the battery pack out and have a bigger gas tank in it? Like, imagine they gave you that option. That'd be kind of nice. But it is what it is. Yeah, it just grabs. Now, just to be first and foremost, I am not a professional driver. I am a noob driver, and if anything happens, it's your fault. I'm just kidding. No. Okay, so going about 80. And again, you feel every single bump. Oh, there's a little leaf. It looks like a quarter rolling down the road. Some child just flings quarters in the road. This road is awful. There's a bump up here that I was riding my Honda Forza, and I come around this corner, and I hit this bump, and I actually got air. It was horrible. I thought I broke something. I honestly did. Like, I could hear my suspension, like, basically, it used all the suspension it could. Luckily, nothing broke. Thank goodness. I mean, that thing went through hell. So I'm going about 70 through that. We're just gonna fling this around a bit. So I'm going about 80. The speedo is off, so I'm gonna say about 75 right now for speed. 75. You can see how kind of windy these corners are. There we go. That one I went through about 60. Because that was a really tight, that was pretty much a full-on UE right there. Open 75 again. Accelerate a bit. So, holding it at about 75 around this corner. Big high country, whatever big trucks are. Let's see, can I do 75 around this corner? Let's see. Very stable. If this road was redone, man, it would be awesome. Okay, I exited that at going about 90. Not bad, and I was still able to stay in my lane. Not bad at all. There's a couple of things that I do want to try to not do, is I'm trying to keep the tires on the rim, and I'm also trying not to overheat the brakes. So I'm pretty much letting off the brakes, and when I do feel that it's going a little bit too much, this corner is really tight, so we're gonna go about 55 around here. There we go. And keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back into eco mode just for the sake of I just want to get on the highway and then we'll throw it back into sport mode. Here we are. Rubber is still on the rims, so I guess that's good. Sun is shining in the eyes right now. Shoot. There we go. Just gonna put that there. The wind is blowing kind of on an angle, it seems. By looking at the blades of grass, the straw, it's kind of blowing on an angle, sort of like from the driver corner of the window to the rear passenger, right side rear passenger. So I'm kind of like in that sort of angle. So it is kind of pushing me towards the ditch itself, but not full on side push, if that makes any sense. So again, because the car is pretty light, you will feel that. Okay, I'm speeding a bit here. So if they do not discontinue this car, would I, once I'm done paying for this one, would I get another one? Honestly, same with my scooter. I just want to keep it and just see how long I can get this thing to go. The build quality, from what I've seen in videos, seems to be a very hit or miss. There's things that I don't know how they ended up passing, inspection, because it's like you have the same part, and then one part is after like so little miles is completely wrecked, and then the other, which has like 40,000 miles on it, is in pristine condition. And it's like, how do you do that? So that's kind of something that I was like, the wind is really shoving me around here right now. It's bullying me. It's not being very nice. It looks like I'm like not able to keep my lane, but it's honestly the wind that's doing it right now. You'll be able to tell once I go into like the like I'm driving with the wind, you'll see what I mean. Like, it's a lot easier to maintain. So pretty much electric everything. Windows. The only things that aren't electric is no electric steering wheel adjustment and no electric seats. Another thing that kind of sucks too is it doesn't even, the base model does not even come with a height adjuster for the seats, and the height adjuster is basically just a knob that you twist to adjust the height. I don't know why they just did not include that. This car doesn't even have armrests. It doesn't even have armrests. I mean, isn't that like a standard? I thought maybe because this car was so small, it just did not have armrests. But it turns out they do. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a secret compartment and I have to install them myself. I don't know. But I find that kind of a bummer. It would be nice to have an armrest. But then I'm like, wait a minute, where would they put an armrest in this thing? Because you would have the armrest basically right where the emergency brake is, so you're going to think you're pulling the emergency brake, and you're just pulling the armrest up. It's not very, it's like, I don't know, man. Oh. Am I going to more of a side wind now? Was I totally wrong about it? Look at the trees. Look at the trees. Jeez. Okay, yeah, now I'm getting a side wind. You can tell. There's the trees. They're just blowing. They're blowing. Ah. Ruined it. It's always ruining it. No fun. Stupid side wind. Just a nice day where it's just pure calmness and deer are running across the road, staring at you for about 5 minutes before they realize that they should get the fuck out of the way because they're dumb. I mean, to be honest, the deer I actually stopped for a family of deer because I was like, you know what, I don't want to hit Bambi, that'd be mean. And then I was like, okay, so there's two family. There's like a mother deer and then there's like after like 15 deer, I'm like, okay, there's a herd of deer. Santa lost his reindeer. And then I realized that reindeer and deer are totally two different things, but whatever, shut up. And then 25 deer later, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. And then finally one deer let me go. He's like, hey, you go, bro. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, psych. And then he started going, like, you bastard. I'm wondering, do I gain gas mileage by turning traction control off, or do I lose gas mileage? That's a question that I always wondered. Like, I thought maybe you would gain gas mileage because your car isn't having to use assists that it normally would have to use. But then again, is it... turn, you bastard. There you go. The car and whatnot. So it is what it is. Whatever. That guy's probably looking at me like, how dare you gonna put me on YouTube, boy? Whoop your butt. Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife were driving around. I love my beautiful wife. God damn. My sexy wife. Hey, baby. Well, hold on, I got a phone here. Hello? Hey, honey, are you coming to pick me up from the dentist? Wait. Oh, shit. This isn't even my car. Oh, damn. I've been touching some stranger's leg. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. The wind, it blows. Also, another fun fact, this car can actually tow 1,000 pounds. Imagine me towing 1,000 pounds in this thing. How? I always take this road like whenever I just want to go for a drive, I just take this same road, like all through it what you've seen. It's just a nice relaxing drive. I know I'm supposed to do a review of this car. So positives, it's pretty cheap on fuel, fun to drive, pretty comfortable, comes with enough features that you're happy, has a good mix between, the very basic and some, which would once be considered luxury items is now just standard, and also, well, that's about it. The negative, interior noise is pretty high. The CVT, I think, is its kryptonite for this thing. This isn't really a fault on its own, but it doesn't seem to get the love it deserves. What else? The tires being as small as they are, you feel every single bump. The suspension, that's not negative. That's pretty. I mean, that might be one of the reasons it's handling so well. The plastic, the interior fitting is okay in some parts and questionable in others. The speakers tend to kind of do this weird vibrating thing. I don't know if it's maybe because I have bottles, but even when certain songs, it just kind of makes this really weird tinny kind of sound, which I don't really like. There is an upgraded sound system for this vehicle. I don't have that. The ability to make love in the back of this car is non-existent. And let's put in sport mode here. Okay, I hit about 140 there. Well, close to it. Go back down to 120. That's this person passed me. They're probably gonna pass me, yeah. Signal, oh no, they got 2 lights. You're good. Again, this car is being kind of pushed around by the wind quite a bit, which is really annoying. Kind of ruins it. Just kind of makes it things so you really have to be constantly on your toes with this thing if it's windy. Uh, 0 to 60, I don't know, like, I gotta test that, like, between eco mode and sport mode, what is the difference? How much quicker can the thing get up to 60? If we drop it, so I'm doing about, let's go to 120 here. So I'm doing about 120, and if I put it back into eco mode, it drops down, still 120, but now I'm only using about 2,500 RPM. So you can see basically what's happening is just, I think it's just the pulleys or whatever on the CVT just tighten, and just the belt just has more grab to it. Apparently there's a way to adjust the CTV belt, so if it does get loose, there's a little thing that you can adjust it. What else? I really want to just, I do have one video on my channel where I do hit about 160, well, it would actually be 155. So it went from 530 kilometers in total for range, and now it says 570. I wonder how much can I get this up to 600. I think at one point the highest I had it was 620. So that means that to go from Grand Prairie, Alberta all the way to Melville, Saskatchewan, I would only need to fill this thing up 3 times. And because fuel is cheaper now, it would cost me a whopping $60 for 91 or even 91 fuel. Not bad. Before fuel went down, it was about $75 a tank. Oh, I'm just going this lane. I don't know how fast the semi's going. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that most likely this guy's probably gonna switch lanes and go into the because usually they take that exit road. Oh, it's sketchy. Woo! Oh my goodness. Hello, Mr. Trucker.
Yo, what's up? I'm a trucker. Yeah, that's right. I pay the bill.
Okay, that's enough. How are the off-road capabilities of this car? Well, let's find out. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? just goes cartwheeling into the airport. It's one of the Boeing 747s that just explodes. Oh my goodness. I'm an idiot.